Yo, what's good with you? On today's video, I got the how to make a trade system. If you guys watched the how to make a tower defense video, the part 7 with the trade system and stuff, you'll see it's literally the exact same thing and stuff. I was just like, oh, perfect. I can just, it's a two, literally is a 2-in-1 system. I can make it for the tower defense series as well as just a regular general video. So it's a simple trade system with UI. You send a request to another player, they can accept or decline, and then you guys will trade items of sorts. So yeah, let's go ahead and get straight into it. So I feel like we're gonna spend most of our time really on creating the UI rather than the actual scripting itself. But let's go ahead and get straight into it. Okay. So the first thing we're gonna do is go ahead and insert a remote event into replicate the storage. You guys are gonna rename said remote event to trade event. Then let's go ahead and get into the UI. So head on over to Stutter GUI, click the plus icon. You're gonna want to insert a screen GUI. You're gonna want to rename said screen GUI to trade GUI. Boom. Disable reset. Definitely make sure you disable reset on spawn. You do not want that to be enabled. And then we're gonna go ahead and insert a text button. We're gonna rename this button to trade text button. Right. I'm gonna make the background color yellow because that was the same color in the video. But you guys can like the colors and stuff. You guys will. Let me not say that for everything, but for this button in particular, you guys can set the color and font and all that stuff to whatever you want. Rich text, scale text. The text is gonna be the word trade. I'm gonna insert a UI corner. Again, this is optional. Set this to 15. Boom. Right. Make the button a little smaller. So like maybe 80 or maybe like 120. Yeah, like 120. I'm gonna drag this down to like the left. We got our trade text button, and then boom. Right. We have our button set up. So inside of the trade button, I'm going to insert a frame. Right. So you're gonna click the plus icon, click frame. Then we're going to drag it to the middle of the screen. This is simply just to control visibility. Like we're literally not really doing much with this frame. Like you could make this, it's probably for the best you make the size of the frame pretty big. So like 300 or like 400 by 400. But we're, like I said, like I said, we're not really doing much with the frame if I'm being honest with y'all. So you're going to set the background transparency equal to 1, right? You're going to want to rename this frame to trade frame. This will be our main frame, right? And then we're going to want to insert let's take care of the list first. So you're going to want to insert a scrolling frame into the chart. Wait, sorry, you're going to want to insert a scrolling frame into the trade frame, not the trade text button, into the trade frame. You're going to want to rename this frame to trade list frame. So pretty much it's just a player list of all the players inside the game, and you can click on their name to send a request to trade with them, right? So as for the properties, we don't need it to be like too wide or anything. I think 200 might actually. So maybe like 200 by 300. Yeah, I think something like that. But or maybe like 220. I think 220 should work. So I'm gonna put this kind of off to the right side, but here and stuff. And you guys can put this wherever y'all want, by the way. So then I'm gonna insert a text label into the trade frame. So boom, I'm gonna put this at the top of this of our trade list frame. I'm gonna rename this text label to trade text label. This is pretty much just our header. So for this, I'm just going to set the background transparency equal to 1. Y'all already know bold text, rich text, scale the text. I'm gonna set the text color to a nice bright blue. Set the text stroke transparency equal to 0. Then set the text stroke color to a nice dark blue, right? And then I'm going to set the text to the word trade. Boom, right? And then I'm going to want to insert a text button into the trade frame so that we're able to close the trade menu whenever we want. So then I'm going to insert a text button. I'm going to drag it over here to the right. You want this to be pretty small, so like maybe like, or not 20, like 50 by 50. And then of course you're going to you're going to change the text. Sorry, you're going to change the text to an X, bold text to rich text, scale the text. And then for me, I'm going to make the text color white. And then text stroke transparency will be 0. I'm gonna leave the text stroke color to just black, and then I'm gonna set the background color to red, right? And then I'm gonna insert the UI corner into it. So insert a UI corner, then make this 15. So I just want it to be round, right? Or maybe like 20. That's more, yeah, circular. And then I'm gonna rename this text button to close text button, right? Then I'm gonna just drag it so that's like right there. So it's like right to the side, right? And then boom. So from here, we're gonna want to insert a UI grid layout into our trade list frame. So click the plus icon, type, or not type, click UI grid layout. Well, you may have to search for it, but yeah. So you're gonna insert a UI grid layout into it. I'm trying to think, what was the one for this? Oh, for the UI grid layout, I remember now. Okay. So for the UI grid layout, I remember that I did filter right. Was it filter? Yeah, I think it was no, horizontal alignment. Yeah. So I put my horizontal alignment to center. The reason for this is just because like if you insert like a text label or a text button, you'll see and then you set the text, you set the background color to like a different color other than white. You can see it's in the middle and stuff, and then I prefer that, like leaving the edges and stuff. So then for the sizing, we're obviously going to need this to be wider, so like 180 or more like 160, so that it's equal spacing on both sides. And then obviously we can set this to like maybe 60. So I think maybe 200. Let's do 200 by 50 and see how that works. 200 by 50. Okay, that seems perfect with that. Okay, so I'm gonna make it the trade list frame a little bit wider because I just did that. So 250. Okay, there we go. And then move the button over. There we go. Right, and then we can delete this text label. We were just using it as just a reference point so we could see. Then I'm also move over the trade text label so it's in the middle, and then drag it down. There we go. Right, so boom, we're done with the trade list frame. We're going to create the text buttons, which will be the player text button so that you're able to invite other players to trade. We're going to create that via the script. So moving on, we have the next frame, which I guess will handle the trade incoming frame. So insert a regular frame into the main trade frame. You're going to want to insert a frame. You're going to want to name this frame trade incoming frame. This would be like your notification frame and stuff. So we'll bring it over here to the side. I'm going to I think do maybe 200 by, or maybe we could do 250. I don't know. 240 probably should be, yeah. We'll do 240 by maybe 200. Yeah, I think that'll work. So I'm gonna drag this down here, right? So inside the trade incoming frame, I did put a UI corner into it, but again, that's optional. It's up to y'all stuff, right? So I put a UI corner into it, so this to 15, and then we need to have simply a text label and 2 buttons. So I'm gonna insert a text label. It's gonna be at the top. So text label, you want it to be at the top. So the name of the text label will be trade incoming. Oh, trade incoming text label. So it'll have the name of the player who's trying to trade with you. So bold text, rich text, scale text. So by default, you could just set the text to trade request colon, and then the script will set it to whatever whoever, it'll say trade request and the person's name and stuff. So we can set it to that. I'm gonna set the text color to nice bright blue, and then text stroke transparency 0. Text stroke will be a nice dark blue. Boom, right? So I'll do it like that. I'll have this at the top, and then I'm gonna have 2 buttons. So I'm gonna insert a text button, and then I'm gonna drag this down to the middle. I'm gonna duplicate the UI corner, so select it, Control D, throw that in there. I'm gonna rename the text button to, this will be the accept. Yep, yeah, accept. So accept text button. So if you want to accept the trade, so background color will of course be green, right? We're gonna scroll down, bold text, scale text, and rich text, and then set the text to accept. And then I'm going to make the text color white. So text color will be white. Text stroke transparency will be set to 0, and then the text stroke color will remain black. Then I'm going to duplicate this, Control D, drag it under it. We're going to want to set the text to the word decline. We're going to want to scroll up, change the background color to red, and then we're going to want to rename the text button to, I believe it was it? Did it do decline? Yeah, it was decline. Decline text button, right? And then just like that, we are done with the trade incoming frame. So by default, you do not want this frame to be visible, so you could uncheck it. We don't need it to be visible. And then now we're on to the last frame, which will be our trade handler frame, where the trading will like actually occur. So we're going to insert another frame into the trade frame. So boom, this frame is going to need to be much bigger. You're going to drag it over to the left. That's why I left space over here. So we can try setting it to 300, probably like 300 by 300. I feel like that'll be good. Yeah, 300 by 300. Maybe make it a little wider, so 350. We could do like 350. So inside of this, I believe I did, yeah. I also did the UI corner, so I'm gonna just duplicate this, Control D, and then drag this in there. You're gonna want to rename this frame to trade handler frame, right? And then inside of said frame, we're going to want to insert, I guess the first thing would be the text. Yeah, we could just do top to bottom. So text labels. So I'm gonna insert a text label. This text label background color, background transparency will be set to 1. You're gonna want to rename this text label to your offer text label, right? And then you scroll down, bold text, scale text, rich text, and set the text to your offer. So the left side will be the player, will be like, will be your side, like, whatever you have, whatever you own, instead whatever you can offer to trade with the other person. And then the right side will be what they're offering to you. So, well, obviously we don't need the text label to be this long. I'm gonna just set the text color to same thing, nice dark blue, or it's more so light blue. Let me see, do I want like black? Yeah, I think something like that would look nice. So your offer text label, then obviously it doesn't need to be that long. So let's set the size to like maybe, I don't know, 150. Yeah, like 150 should be good. And then I'm going to duplicate this, Control D, then drag this over to the right side, and then you're gonna want to rename this to other offer text label. This is what the other player is offering to you. Then set the text to other offer. I recommend doing 2 different text colors so that people don't get confused. So like maybe like, I don't know, we could do like a lighter or like a darker blue, right? Then maybe make this, well, actually not really points to that. Sorry, pretty bright. And maybe something like that. Yeah, clearly like this one is like, yeah, it's kind of glowing. So yeah, so we'll do that, and then we're gonna want to insert a frame into the trade handler frame. So boom, you're gonna put this to the left side. You're gonna put it under your offer. So let's scale it, I should say, that it's right under your offer, but it doesn't like move too far to the right. So like maybe 150. Yeah, 150 is actually perfect. And then so we'll do 150, and then for Y, maybe set this to like 200. No, we're gonna need to probably do like 150. It's gonna need to be 150 by, or we could do like, I think we could do like, yeah, we could do 150 by 170. So you're gonna want to rename this to your offer frame, right? This would be your offer frame. And then it's the same thing as, so as what I explained, all the stuff you own will be inside of this frame. So for this, I'm going to create a border. So I'm set the border size pixel to 5. I would recommend setting the color to match the text color as well above. I feel like it just honestly makes sense. So I think that's like, I honestly don't even remember. Let me see. What is this? So I'll just drag, yeah, I'll just copy and paste. So Control C, Control V. Okay, yeah, that is the same color. So yeah, so we have let me move this over. So we have, just like that, we have my offer, or your offer, the player. And then we need to duplicate this frame. So, but before I do that, I'm going to insert a UI grid layout into it so that it sorts all of the stuff we own. So UI grid layout. For this, I set this to 30 by 30. Then I'm going to duplicate your offer frame, select it, Control D. You're going to want to rename this to other offer frame, right? Then you're just going to drag this over here, and then you want it to match the other offer text label color. Oh, I just realized it's not. Yeah, there we go. That looks better. Let me just move this over. There we go. So let me go find the text color. So boom. Then are they already the same color? No, they're not. Boom, there we go. So now their colors match. And okay, it's really throwing me off how like it's kind of hanging off to the side. So I'm just move this over just a little bit. Yeah, I'm just move these over just a little bit. Okay, there we go. Boom and boom. There we go. Right. And then lastly, we just need a ready and a decline button. So I'm going to go ahead and insert a text button into the trade handler frame. Drag this to the bottom. For this, we don't need no, oh no, we do need background. Background color will be set to green for the first one. This will be the ready text button. This is not an accept text button. This is a ready, because you can, you're going to have the option to, ready up and unready. So we'll say, we'll call this ready text button. The background color to green. I'm gonna throw in a UI corner, right? Go down, bold text, scale text, rich text, text to the word ready. And then I did what the text color to white. Then background transparent. I'm sorry, texture transparency will be set to 0. Black, and then we, of course, want the button to be a little smaller, so like 120 or no, we can do like, I think we could do 150. Yeah, 150 is perfect. Okay, so we'll have it right under, then Control D, drag it over to the other side, and then for this will be the decline button. So red, this will end the trade immediately for both sides. So we name this to decline text button. Then I'm gonna set the text equal to decline, right? And then boom, we have our decline text button. And then just like that, guys, we are officially done with all of the UI. We set up the handler frame, the trade incoming, as well as the player listing. So yeah, so by default, we obviously want trade handler frame to also, we don't want it to be visible. Let me just double check. Okay, I'm good. And then we also, of course, don't want the main trade frame to be visible. When we when we press the button, it's going to enable the frame, right? So now we get into the scripting. So the local script will take, I'm just warning you now, the local script will take a little minute. A trade system is not something simple, especially for displaying it UI-wise. It's a lot of things to handle and stuff. So yeah, but once we finish the local script, the server script is an easy 100, and then we're done. So we're going to insert a local script into starter player scripts. You open up starter player and then head over to starter player scripts, click the plus icon. Press level script. You're going to want to rename the script to trade script, in parentheses, put local. You're going to want to delete print hello world. And then we're going to want to create 3 variables. First, let's get the local player. We're going to say player is equal to game.players.local player. Then let's create a variable for the trade GUI. So I'm going to say local trade GUI is equal to player.player GUI. Wait for child trade GUI. And then lastly, I'm going to create a variable for the trade remote event. So local trade event is equal to game.replicated storage, wait for child, trade event. And then I'm going to go ahead and set up the function. I'm going to say trade GUI trade GUI trade text button mouse button 1 click connect function, close parentheses, enter. We're going to create a variable for the main trade frame. We're going to say local trade frame is equal to trade GUI trade text button trade frame. Then we're going to skip a line, and then we're going to destroy all of the buttons inside of the trade list frame. The reason for this is so that every time you open the trade menu, we want to make sure it's updated and stuff, so that there's not any players that were let's say you open the trade menu, you know, like right now you open the trade menu and then you wait and open it again like 5 minutes later. Obviously people could have left, people could have joined that time frame, so we want to make sure it's updated. So I'm going to clear it out. So I'm going to say for I comma v in pairs. You're going to say trade frame trade list frame get children, enter if v is a text button. It's very important that we ensure it is a text button so that we're not destroying the UI grid layouts. Enter then v destroy, so we'll destroy them if they're text buttons. Then I'm going to set the for I v in pairs loop. This is what's going to create a text button for each player inside of the game. So I'm going to say for I v in pairs game.players get children, enter, right? So, you know, I just realized something. All I need to do is put an if statement here to prevent it from creating the text button that has the same name as the player. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. I didn't even do this before, but so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna say if v.name is nil equal to player.name. That's all I had to do, so that it doesn't even create a text. I should have thought about that when I was picking the tower defense series. But anyway, so we're going to create the player text button. So we're going to say local player text button. If you're confused as to what we just did, this if statement, it ensures that it will not create a text button for, you know, yourself. Like obviously you can't send a trade request to yourself. Just doesn't make any sense. So we're going to say it's equal to instance.new in quotation marks text. Damn, I cannot talk today. Anyway, text button. We're going to parent this to the trade frame and then the trade list frame. So trade list frame, enter. We're then going to set some properties. Player text button dot name is equal to is equal to v dot name. So the name of the player dot quotation marks, then the words text and button, right? Then for the next properties, we're going to say player text button dot text. So the text will just be set to the name of said player. Then we got the background color, so player text button dot background color 3. Now the colors here are very important. So I recommend you set all the colors to the exact same colors I'm setting them to. It's very important. So color 3 dot new. In parentheses, you're gonna say 0, comma 170, comma 255. So we're gonna have like this light blue type of color, right? Then player text button dot text color 3 is equal to color 3 dot new 255. So pretty much just white. So 255, 255. Right, then player text button dot text stroke transparency is equal to 0, and then player text button dot rich text is equal to true. Player text button dot font face dot bold is equal to true, and then player text button dot text scaled is equal to true. And then lastly, we're going to create a UI corner. This is optional, but UI corner is equal to instance.new in quotation marks UI corner, parent this to the player text button, enter. Then the only property you're going to set is the corner radius. So corner radius is equal to, you're going to say UDM, not UDM2, UDM2 dot, UDM.new. Then you're going to say 0, comma 20. And then we're going to set up function. I'm going to say player text button dot mouse button one click, connect function, close parentheses, enter. Right, and then we're going to set up a for I loop. So we're going to say for I comma v appears trade frame dot trade, I believe it was trade list, yeah, trade list frame, get children, enter. You're going to say if v is a text button, enter. You're going to say v dot background color 3 is equal to color 3 dot new. So we're setting it to gold, so 0, 170, comma 255. Sorry, we're setting it back to blue. Yeah, we're setting it back to blue. That's what it was. So the way this works, when you select a player, it's going to highlight their name in gold and stuff. So you know, like, okay, you've sent a request. Once you try to send a request to someone else, it's going to reset all of them back to the the default color, and then it'll what's it called? It'll set whoever you just clicked on name or button background color, I should say, to gold. So yeah, because it's not really, yeah, it's more so the background color. Then I'm gonna fire their remote event. I'm gonna say trade event fire server, in quotation marks, the name of the event is trade, comma, then in quotation marks you're gonna say request, that's the name of the trade type, comma, player text button dot text. So you're setting the name, so you're sending over whatever the player's name is. Then we're gonna say player text button, this is the button that the player clicked on. Background color 3 is equal to color 3 dot new. We're gonna set it to gold, so 0.33, comma 1, comma 0. Wait, I'm confused. This is green. I thought I set it to yellow. Oh, never mind. Sorry, green. I'm sorry. When you select stuff to trade in the trade menu, when you're in progress of trading, that's when things are gold. Sorry, I'm in green. So yeah. And then I think that was really it, honestly. Yeah, I want to really say that was really it. We have the player text button, and then we skip. Oh yeah, so we skip the two ends. Then we're gonna finally make the trade frame, because you guys may not have realized we didn't even make it visible yet. So trade frame dot visible is equal to true, because we want to make sure all this work is in before we make it visible. Then lastly, we're just gonna make it so that you can close the menu out with the close button. So trade frame dot close text button dot mouse button one click, connect function, close parentheses, enter. You're simply gonna say trade frame dot visible is equal to false, and then just like that, we are done with the first function, or the first main function. So then we're moving on to the on client event function. So trade event dot on client events, connect function, in parentheses put event type, comma arg1, comma arg2, short for argument 1, argument 2. Then press enter. Then you're gonna set up an if statement. So if event type is equal to, in quotation marks, trade, and then you're going to create variables, right? Let me just double check. Okay. Then you're going to create variables. First is the trade type. It's equal to argument 1. So obviously there are different types of things going on with trading. There's, when you send the request to someone else to trade, when they accept the request, if they decline the request, if they accept the request, then they decline, so they stop trading mid thing. Then there's, when you ready up and the other person readies up, and then the trade is complete. It's a whole bunch of different trade types. Then lastly, for our other variable, we're going to say local trade participant, which is the person you're trading with. Participant is equal to argument number 2. Then I'm going to set up another if statement. So I'm going to say if trade type is equal to request, so enter. So for this, this is pretty much someone else is sending you a request to trade. So they're sending you a request because they want to trade with you. So we're gonna say trade UI dot trade text button dot trade frame, right? Dot trade incoming frame, dot text. Wait, oh sorry, trade incoming text label. Then dot text is equal to quotation marks. You're gonna put trade request colon space dot dot dot, then trade participant. So it'll be the name of the person you're trading with. Then we'll say trade GUI dot trade text button dot trade frame dot visible is equal to true, right? Then I'm also going to make the other frame visible. So trade GUI dot trade text button dot trade frame dot trade incoming frame dot visible is equal to true, right? Then I'm going to set up a function for if you accept said trade. So I'm going to say trade GUI dot trade text button dot trade income. Wait, oh my bad. Trade frame, then trade incoming frame dot accept text button dot mouse button 1 click connect function close parentheses enter, right? And then it's a whole bunch of stuff we're going to put here. So once you accept it, we're going to do the opposite. We're going to make trade incoming. We're going to make the trade incoming frame no longer visible. So Control C, Control V, change true to false, right? And then I'm going to fire their mode event so that the other player knows it's time to start trading. So trade event, fire server, quotation marks, name of the event is trade, comma, quotation marks, name of the trade type is start because they're ready to start trading, comma, and then you're sending over the trade participant. So boom, enter, and then for this last part, you're going to set the name. So we're gonna say trade GUI dot trade text button dot trade frame dot trade handler frame dot other offer text label dot text is equal to trade participant. So just so you know, just so you remember throughout the trade who you're trading with. So quotation marks space off. Oh, not officer offer, right? And then we're going to use for the pairs loop. Same concept as I mentioned before. We're just clearing out the frames so that there's not any old stuff. Like if you traded with someone 5 minutes ago, you obviously don't want it to show items you had then. You want to make sure it's up to date with all the items you currently have. So we're going to say for I comma v in pairs, right? I'm going to say trade. I'm going to say trade GUI dot trade text button dot trade frame, then trade handler frame dot your other frame get children enter. You already know if v is a text button, enter. You're gonna say v destroy. You want to clear it out, right? And then you're just gonna copy and paste this, save yourself some time, Control C, right? And then just Control V, right? The only thing for this you want to change, you're going to change 2 things actually. Change your other frame, your offer frame to other offer frame, and then change text button to text label because obviously what the player is displaying would be text labels because it would make no sense to have text buttons. There's no need for you to click on this since that's what the other person is offering you, right? Then after that, we're going to create unit text buttons. This is going to be all the stuff you own. Keep in mind, this is a trace system made for it was made for a tower defense game. So if you're doing like tools and stuff, it'll be a little different, but I'm just going to use the word units in this case, right? So I'm going to say for I comma v in pairs. Then I'm going to say player.owned units. So this is a folder on the server side, which we're going to create when we move to the server script and stuff. So player.owned units, I'm going to say get children, close parentheses, enter, right? I'm going to create unit text button. So I'm going to say local unit text button is equal to instance.new in quotation marks. You're going to say text button. You're going to parent this to trade GUI. You're going to go trade GUI, trade text button, dot trade frame, dot trade handler frame, dot your offer frame, enter. Then we're just setting some properties. Oh, sorry, I actually forgot. So let's save ourselves some time, right? So you're just gonna Control C all of this, all the property stuff. So Control C all of that. I'm gonna just put P because I forgot this. Control V. Then you're just gonna Control C, Control V, Control V, Control V. Just gonna paste over all of this, right? Boom, boom, right? So still same thing, v.name text button, v.name. As for the background color, this time the background color is 0, 1 1, right? Which is that ironically the same color actually. Um, I didn't set I didn't set a text color, so we don't have to do that. Nor did I worry about the text stroke transparency. I did the rich text bold and text scale, so yeah. So then I'm gonna set up the function for when you press on the unit text button. So unit text button. So I'm gonna say unit text button dot mouse button one click. That means you want to select it because you want to offer it to the other person. So connect function, close parentheses, enter. Right inside of this function, I'm gonna set an if statement. This is why I said it's important that you set all the colors the same as mine, because it's gonna use an if statement based off of the color. It's gonna tell what you're trying to do. If you're trying to select it or you're trying to deselect it or unselect it. You're gonna say if unit text button dot background color 3 is equal to color 3 dot new 0 comma 1 comma 1. That means it's currently unselected, which means you want to select it. So then you're gonna say unit text button dot background color 3 is equal to color 3 dot new 1 comma 1 comma 0. Because remember, gold means you have it selected. Then you're gonna fire the remote event. So trade event fire server, in quotation marks you're gonna put the word trade, comma, quotation marks you're gonna put the word ready. Or, sorry, not ready. Sorry, wrong thing. You're gonna put the word select because that means you're trying to select. Then comma, you're gonna send over unit text, so the name of whatever the item is, comma, and then whoever you're trading with, so that you can notify them, so that it shows on their screen like, okay, this is what they're offering. Then you're gonna set up an else, or an else. Type the word else, copy and paste it like the entire if statement. Control C, Control V. You're literally just gonna reverse it. So the if statement turns into 1 comma 1 comma 0, and then this turns into 0 1 1. Right. So this is for when you're trying to unselect something, right? So the great thing about this is literally it's the same thing. Like the name of the event will be the same because on the server side it's going to use an if statement. So it'll check to see if that unit is already in the folder of items you're offering to the other player, and if it is, it'll unselect it, so the server will automatically know what it is you're trying to do. So then after we're finished with this function, we're gonna skip after it, right? I'm gonna go a little after it, and then I'm going to set up the ready and unready function. So the concept is honestly, it's everything about it, it's pretty similar. So let's just copy and paste, save ourselves some time. So Control C, Control V, right? So for this, the only difference is we're gonna need to extend this the function thing. So we're gonna say trade GUI dot trade text button trade handle, or sorry, trade frame, then trade handler frame. Then for this is you're gonna get the ready text button, then that mouse button one click, and then we're good. Then for the if statement, the differences with this is you're going to get the same thing, so we could just copy and paste this portion. So Control C, then Control V. So what you're looking for is you're looking for the text. So you're gonna say if the text is equal to the word ready, and that means you want to unready and stuff, right? So what we're gonna do is, okay, I'm not even gonna hold y'all. I drank a lot of water before this started, so I really gotta pee. So I'm gonna be right back. Y'all just skip ahead like a minute, and then we'll get right back to it. Y'all give me 1 second. All right, I'm back. Now, getting back to what I was talking about. Okay, so for this, we did the if statement, right? So obviously, we're gonna change this. We're not modifying the color. We're actually just doing the same thing with the text, so we could just paste that again. Then it's gonna say text. You're gonna set this to unready. So then we're gonna fire the remote event. So trade event fire server trade. We're gonna leave that the same. The name of the trade type obviously changes, so it'll change to ready and stuff, because that means you're readying up. And then obviously we don't need the unit button text. We're just gonna send over the trade participant. So boom with that. So then we can really just copy and paste. Yeah, just really copy and paste. So Control C, and then be very careful here. You want to paste this over everything to the if, but like after the else, I should say. So Control V, and then obviously this would be the opposite. So on ready, then you're going to set the text to ready, and then the name of the trade type is unready, and then you don't need to send over the trade participant this time. You only need to send it over when you're readying up, because when you ready up, we need to check on the server side if both players have readied up. Because if they have, then the trade is ready, commence to end everything. And then I'm gonna set up the function for if you want to decline mid trade, like if you just want to stop trading and stuff. We're just like, I got changed my mind. I don't want to trade no more. So we're gonna say trade GUI dot trade text button dot trade frame dot trade handler frame dot decline text button dot mouse button 1 click connect function close parentheses enter, right? So inside of that, you're going to simply we can just go up here and then just find it. Wait, I just realized where was I supposed to? Oh, I just realized I haven't even made it visible. Sorry. Okay. After the unit text button, like in between these functions, you're gonna say trade GUI trade text button trade frame trade handler frame visible is equal to true, and then you're gonna copy and paste this. Control C, Control V. That's false because you declined, you no longer want to. Then I'm going to fire their remote event so that it also turns off the UI on the other player's screen. So trade event fire server quotation marks, you'll already know trade. Then you're going to put decline, and then we of course need to send over the trade participant, right? And then we're done with that function. So you're going to skip to or well, no, actually no, sorry, you're going to skip one end, I believe. Wasn't it just one? Because then it was just, the decline. Okay, yeah, no, I remember now. Because it's the decline. And then we're actually going to go all the way up because we just typed a lot, right? So you're going to want to find where we started the accept text button function, click that arrow, and then you're just going to go after that, right? So after that, what you're going to do is you're going to set up the function for declining, like, this is for when it's, this is for, wait, didn't we just, wait, now I'm kind of confused. Trade. Wait, that's the same thing. I just realized trading coming. Wait, because if it's request. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I remember. Okay. So when the trade is incoming, right? You guys remember how it's an accept and decline. So if you just don't even want to get to the trading portion, you could just decline straight up and stuff. This function is for when you're mid trade and stuff. I just remembered. I was kind of confused. This confused me the first time too. So trade GUI trade text button trade frame trade handler frame or not trade handler frame, sorry, trade incoming frame, then decline text button mouse button 1 click connect function close parentheses enter, and then we can just go find this. Control C, Control V, set this to false, and then instead of the trade handler frame, since it's not even visible at this time, you're gonna say trade incoming frame, right? And then just like that, we were done with that if statement. The great news I have for y'all is that is the longest one, and that we can do a lot of copying and pasting. We can take a lot of stuff from this to save ourselves some time. So we're gonna click the arrow, enter, go the next else if there. So else if trade type is equal to, in quotation marks, this is start. So this is for if you send someone a trade request and they accepted. So now you're officially starting the trade process, right? So we're gonna go up here. We're gonna copy and paste. Where is it? Oh, this part. Yeah, this part right here. So line 62, where we have the trade participant's name and the word offer. So Control C, Control V, right? Then I'm gonna go after. Y'all already know we're gonna get the 2 4 IV in pairs loops so that we can clear them out. So Control C, Control V, right? Then after we do that, we're gonna get the unit text buttons and stuff. So for this, what is it? 40? Isn't it all pretty much the same? I think it's honestly, yeah. It's all actually pretty much the same. We're literally just gonna copy and paste. You're literally just gonna copy and paste the entire 4 IV in pairs loop. this part right here, right? Control C, and then you're going to Control V, right? And then you're going to set up the decline, but we only need one decline. Yeah, we only need one decline since this is yeah, but we need the ready and the decline. So this, let me see. So start ready, unready, then trade handle, yeah, trade handle frame, and then we don't need the trade incoming frame. I believe that was, I think that's actually it. Yeah, because we don't need this. Just need that. Ready, unready, decline. Um, ready, unready, decline. Yep, that's it. Okay, moving on to the next one. Like I said, we just saved ourselves a whole bunch of time. It was really just copying and pasting, just making sure everything is in the right place. Then else if event or not event, sorry, trade type is equal to quotation marks. For this event, this is end. So this is pretty much when the trade was successful. Both sides agreed, and the trade is now over. So this will be very quick. You're just gonna say trade GUI, that trade text button, that trade frame, that trade handler frame, that visible is equal to false since the trade is over. You don't need to see anymore. Trade GUI, that trade text button, that trade frame, and then you're gonna say trade text label dot text is equal to quotation marks. You're gonna say trade complete. It's gonna temporarily say this, so trade complete exclamation mark, and then you're gonna also set this back to normal. So trade GUI dot trade text button dot trade frame dot trade handler frame dot ready text button dot text is equal to quotation marks ready. So setting it back to default, and then you're gonna wait. So for me, I chose to do 3 seconds, but you guys can set this to whatever you want. So after 3 seconds, it's just gonna set the text back to normal for the trade text label. So Control C, Control V, and then once we're done, we're just gonna set it back to the normal trade. So just set the word trade, right? Then after this, we're gonna set up the next else if statement. So else if trade type is equal to in quotation marks decline. So this event is this is simply just when the other side declined mid trade and stuff like they're like I don't want to trade anymore. Like I wanted to, now I don't. So all you're literally doing is you're just gonna take this to trade handle frame. That's that line. Control C, Control V, and then you're just gonna set it to false. That's literally it for that. Like I said, the first two are really just the longest ones. Then I'm gonna set up the display. So else if trade type is equal to quotation marks unit display. Enter. So this is for when you're you selected something and then, or when the other person selected something. So now it's gonna show on your screen, so you know, okay, this is what they're working with, and this is that's their offer to me, right? And then okay, good, that's the offer to me, right? So I'm going to create a variable for the name of whatever the item or unit is. So I'm going to say local unit name is equal to argument 2. I'm going to set up an if statement. So if not trade GUI dot trade text button dot trade frame dot trade handler frame dot other offer frame find first child in quotation marks. Or sorry, first you're going to say unit name, then dot 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 quotation marks text label. It's very important that you get the name right here. So press enter, and then again, let's save ourselves some time. You're gonna go up here, find the unit text one, just Control C all of this, Control C, and then Control V. You're just gonna rename the label. So I mean the button portion. So unit text label. So Control C, Control V, Control V, Control V, Control V, Control V, and Control V. So as for this is going to be a text label instead of a text button. You're parenting this to the other offer frame. Definitely make sure you get this right, because it would be very confusing if you see like your offer and the other player's offering the same thing. So for this, instead of v dot name, you're just gonna have, it's gonna delete that portion, and then unit name dot 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 text label, right? And then the text will of course just be, you know, name of the unit. Background color will be, you know, blue, rich text font face, all that, you know, bold in scale text, right? And then we're gonna set up the else if. So you're gonna say else, and this one is a lot shorter. So for this, you're literally just saying else if, and then you're just gonna copy and paste everything after the word not. So else if, Control C, Control V, enter, right? So else if they do find it, that means the player they selected it and they no longer want to offer it, so you're going to destroy it. So you're just going to say local, paste once again, Control V, and then oh sorry, type. So okay, so you're going to type local, then So you're gonna put unit text label is equal to, and then unit text label destroy, and then boom, right? Just like that, guys, we are done with the local script, thank God. So we can move on to the server script. Like I said, guys, I promise the server script, in my opinion, it's not that bad. It's literally only 117 lines and stuff, and it's not as confusing as this, in my opinion. So let's go ahead, head on over to server script service, insert a server script, and then we're gonna go ahead and rename the script to trade script, and parentheses put server. Then you're going to delete print hello world. Only variable we needed the trader mode event, so put look trade event is equal to game the replicated storage. Wait for child, trade event. Then we're gonna set up the first event. So this is for when a player joins the game. We're gonna say game.players.player added connect function. In parentheses put PLR register for the player, enter. So we're just going to create the owned units folder. So local owned units, this is simply just for testing. So owned units is equal to instance new in quotation marks folder, parent this to the player. Owned units dot name is equal to in quotation marks owned units. And then of course we're going to make sure that we create some items to put inside the folder. So local item 1 is equal to instance.new. It's literally just going to be a bool value. It can be any type of value, really. So bool value, parent this to the owned units folder, item 1. This is very important. So this is for testing, right? We're going to say player.name to ensure that each item is different, so that when we test, we will know it worked, because we can just look at the name of the player we're using and then see that, okay, they have a value that has the other player's name, so we'll know the test was successful. So I'm gonna say player.name quotation marks for this item 1, right? And then you could just say dot value is equal to false. It really doesn't matter. Then it's gonna copy that, Control C, Control V. Then all you're doing is just gonna do item 2, Control C, Control V, Control V, and Control V. And then we're done with that function. On to the next. We're gonna say trade event dot on server events connect function in parentheses with PLR register for the player, comma event type, comma arg1, comma arg2, comma arg3, which is short for argument 1, argument 2, and argument 3. So set up the if statement. If event type is equal to trade, then enter. And then I'm going to set up the you're going to create a variable for the trade type. You're going to say local trade type is equal to argument 1. Then you're going to set up an if statement. So if trade type is equal, trade type is equal to request, then enter. Then you're going to create a variable for the trade participant. So trade participant, which we'll just copy and paste that a lot. We're going to say game.players, find first child, arg2. And then you're literally just going to say trade event, fire client, singular, fire. Definitely make sure it is fire client singular and stuff, because you would not want to fire it to all clients. That would be very bad. So fire it to the single client, comma, quotation marks, name of the event is trade, comma, name of the trade type is request, and comma, send over the name of the player trying to trade with them. Oh, my bad. I don't know why I put arg1 twice. It should have been arg3. Okay. So just like that, we're done with that trade type. Moving on to the next, else if trade type is equal to start. Like I said, this one, it's a lot shorter. Like we literally just got 100 more lines to go. So for this start, so we're just gonna copy and paste the trade participant variable again, Control C, Control V, right? So you're gonna fire, and then you're just gonna fire them with a Control C, Control V, so you can just copy and paste both sides. So you're firing this to the trade participant. You're just gonna rename the trade type to start, and then you're sending over the name of the player again. We're gonna set an if statement, so we're just gonna say if not player find first child trade status. This will let us know this value will be used to keep track of whether or not the player has rated up or not. When both players trade status value, it's a bool value. When both players trade status value is set to true, that's how you know the trade is like they're ready. Both of them are they've rated up and they're ready for the trade to be complete. So press enter. So if we don't find it, that means they haven't traded, or like they haven't traded at all before, like not with each other, just generally they haven't traded since they've been on the server. So we're going to create the value. So trade status trade status equal to instance.new. It's a boolean, so bool value, parent this to the player. You're going to set the name, so trade status.name is equal to trade status, then trade status.value. By default, definitely make sure this is set to false, right? And then you're also going to create a unit trade folder, so local unit trade folder. This will store all of the stuff you're offering to the other player and stuff. When you select it, it'll be inside of this folder. When you deselect it, it will be removed from this folder. Unit trade folder is equal to instance.new. This is going to be a folder, so quotation marks folder, parent this to the player again. Then unit trade folder.name is equal to unit trade folder. Then I'm going to throw an else, so else, which means it already exists. All you're literally going to do is set its value equal to false. So player.trade status dot value is equal to false. Make sure it's set to false. And then lastly, use a for loop to wipe out the unit trade folder so that it doesn't have any of the old stuff they were offering before. So for IBM pairs, you're going to say player dot unit trade folder, right? You're going to say get children, close parentheses, enter. You're simply just going to say v destroy. So it's going to wipe everything out. And then you click the arrow. Wait, what's it? Yeah. So if not, then so I think that, yeah, this will cover, yeah, that'll guess how they was aiming. So then we're saving ourselves some time here. I'm just gonna copy and paste, Control C, Control V. You're changing this from player to trade participant. So Control C, Control V, just replace the player with the trade participant. So boom, boom, right? Then we're good. Definitely make sure it's the right one, because that could cause a lot of issues down the line. Then you're going to press the arrow on the else if. Moving on to the next trade type. So else if trade type, we're already halfway done. Else if trade type is equal to quotation marks. This is for when the player ready's up. So ready, enter. You're going to again copy and paste the trade participant variable. Control C, Control V. For this, you're just gonna say you're gonna set the player's trade status. So player.trade status value be set to true. There, you're now ready to finalize the trade. Then I'm set the if statement to check both the player and the trade participant. So trade participant trade status value is equal if it's equal to true, and player trade status value is equal to true. That means they're both ready to commence the trade. So press enter, and then you're going to set up a couple for IV in pairs loops. So first is for IV in pairs. You're going to say player.unit trade folder. You're going to say get children, close parentheses, enter, right? Then set up a second for IV in pairs loops for I2, V2 in pairs. Then for this, you're going to say player.owned units get children, close parentheses, enter. You're going to say if v.name is equal to v2 that name, enter, then v2 destroy. So this pretty much is just, it's looking for the stuff that you're offering to other players. Since you first ready it up, it's going to look for it, and then it's going to destroy it. So in other words, you no longer will own it, since you're giving it away and stuff, right? If you gave it away to the other person you're trading with, right? And then great news, copy and paste time. So Control C, just copy everything we just did. Control V, then you're just gonna change player to trade participant, then trade participant again. Boom, right? We're halfway done with this. If statement. Now, it comes time to create the new units and stuff, since like the new values and stuff. So now, since the players may have lost things, but they also own things now. So we got to create that. So for I comma v in pairs, player dot unit trade folder get children, close parentheses, enter, right? You're gonna see if not trade participant, make sure you're doing the right one. So trade participant dot owned units find first child. You want to make sure they don't already own it, because if they do, then there's nothing to do. So v.name, so whatever the name of the unit is, then press enter, then you're going to create it if they don't own it. So owned unit is equal to instance.new, quotation marks, bool value, parent this to the trade participants, owned units folder, then owned units, that value is equal to false, and then also, didn't mean to do that, owned units dot name is equal to v.name, and then after it, same thing, copy and paste, Control C, Control V, and then you're literally just changing it around. So first is trade participant, second is player, and then this trade participant turns into player, and then boom, right? The last thing we're gonna do, go after the for every pairs loop. You're gonna fire the mode event back to both the client, or back to both clients, I should say, trade participant, and then yourself. So trade event fire client. So first you'll fire it back to the player, comma, trade, comma, the word end, then trade event, fire client, fire it back to trade participant, comma, trade, comma, or sorry, comma, end, right? We're almost done, right? So then, after, I believe, because that's in the if statement, yeah. So after the if statement, right, we're moving on to the next else if, right, guys, we are almost done. It's just unready, select, and decline. That's it. We got 3 more. I know y'all are tired because Lord knows I'm tired. So else if trade type is equal to, in quotation marks, unready, enter, right? So then what you're just gonna do is you're gonna do the opposite. So player dot trade status dot value is equal to false. They're no longer ready. Then you're going to destroy all the units they had in the unit trade folder. For IV in pairs, player dot unit trade folder get children close parentheses v destroy close parentheses, right? We're done with that trade type. So then else if trade type is equal to select. So this is what happens when you select units. So create a variable for the unit name. So unit name is equal to arg2. Go find trade participant variable, control C, control V, very important. Make sure you change arg2 to arg3 this time. And then you're gonna use if statement. So if player dot unit trade folder find first, let me do that, find first child, unit name, right? So if it's found, what that means is that you want to destroy it. So local trade unit is equal to, then you're going to copy and paste this top part, control C, control V, and then you're just going to destroy it. So trade unit, destroy, right? Close parentheses. Then you're going to throw an else if not. So if you don't find it, that means, we're creating it. So paste it again, control V, enter, right? So if you don't find it, then you want to create it. So local trade unit is equal to instance.new. This would be a string value. So string value parent this, the player's unit trade folder. So unit trade folder. And then you're gonna set, set the name. So trade unit dot name is equal to unit name, and then trade unit dot value is also equal to the unit name, right? And then you're gonna go after that. Oh, sorry, forgot an equal sign. Then after that, you're gonna fire their mode event. So trade event, fire client, fire to the trade participant, comma, in quotation marks, trade, comma, in quotation marks, unit display. Then send over the name of the unit. And then guys, this is the last thing we're doing. We're just gonna say else if trade type is equal to quotation marks decline. So, when you're declining, we're gonna copy and paste the trade participant portion. So control C, control V, change this back to arg2. Last thing, fire the mode event. So control C, control V. Then firing this to the trade participant trade. Name of the trade type is decline, and we don't need the unit name. And we are done, guys. Okay, let's go ahead and test to make sure everything works. As always, if you guys want access to any one of my scripts mods, you guys can become either a channel member or a Discord subscriber. Link to either one of these options can be found in the description. Highly recommended. You guys can get this access to this file and stuff. So yeah, let's go ahead and test to make sure everything works. And here's how you would also test, so you could ensure that the trade system works on your end too. If you don't have like another person to test with, like an actual server. But in my opinion, this probably is a faster way to do it, an easier way, because you can't view this stuff. Okay. All right, so we are player one. If we press the trade button, you guys see we can open and close the menu. That works, and then we can see the other players in the server. If I press name, it's now green. If I switch over to the other player, I see trade request and then the player's name. If I press decline, then I decline the request, nothing happens. And if I click it again, obviously it'll resend it. So if I press accept this time, your offer with the other player's name will appear, right? So if one of us declines, boom, it should disappear. It disappears on both of our screens. So if I come back, accept this, decline on this screen, boom, right? So now we can test finalizing the trade, right? So first things first, let's make sure selecting works. So boom, select. Okay, so if I select, appears on this screen. If I deselect, it's gone, right? Same thing here. If I select it, it's here. If I deselect it, it's gone, right? So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna select one, right? So press ready. Okay, and it's not working. So if I press ready, okay. And for some reason the ready text buttons are not working. There's no errors. This is very strange. Okay. This means there must be an issue of some sorts with I must have did something wrong with this portion. Let me see. So when you press the ready text button, if trade handler ready text button is equal to ready. Yep, ready text button dot text is, so if ready text button dot text is equal to ready, then trade UI trade ready. Yeah, I'm very confused. I genuinely don't know why this isn't working. Trade UI dot trade text button trade handler frame. Yeah, I'm honestly very confused right now, I'm not gonna lie. Um hmm. What if I press decline? So that's so strange. Okay. So I can decline the request, but I can't really. Yep. Let me see something. Is it changing the value here? This is okay, this is player 2. So now I gotta figure this out. You guys skip ahead until whenever I figure this out. So it's not okay, so it's just for some odd reason it's just not firing. We're just not getting here. Very strange. Okay. We get here, trade GUI to trade text bind, trade frame, trade handle frame, maybe text bind, that mouse button will click. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what the issue is, honestly. So we got where's ready? So we got unready and ready. Else if these are trade types. Yep. But we're not getting this far. It's the problem is on the local script, or is with the local script. Um, So I guess the issue is placement. That's what it must be. Okay. So this part is the decon. Wait. So ready. Yeah, it's supposed to be just like that. So let me see. Okay, so the first part. So this is the first. Okay. So with this, we got ready and decline. They're just supposed to be two ends above. So hmm. Yeah, I'm honestly a little confused. I'm not gonna hold y'all. Okay, so F is supposed to be, wait, it's supposed to be end and end here. I think I was supposed to put, but no, then that wouldn't make sense. Maybe I'm supposed to put. It's supposed to go after. No, that's inside. That wouldn't make any sense. Yeah, I'm not gonna hold y'all. I'm confused as to why it's not working. So, um, I guess I'll just record the part in a few minutes when I figure it out. So I'll be back. Alright guys, we're back. So a few minutes later, well, a lot of minutes, but I already figured it out. I was just on my phone. I got distracted. Anyway, okay, so I figured out what the issue was. I had accidentally put it inside of this 4IV impairs loop. It's supposed to be out on the outside of this 4IV impairs loop. So pretty much you're going to go inside. Remember, it's the local scripts, the trade event on client. This is the request. We're going to modify the first one and then go over there to the other one. So for here, right, after this, like everything after the unit text button thing, you just want to copy and paste all of this. So Control C. Delete that, right? You just want to go after the 4IV in pairs loop. So click the arrow and then you just want to go after it, right? So boom, then Control V, paste it. And I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I really don't understand why it wasn't working, because if you click this, if you click the unit, if you selected the unit, you should have been able to press the ready text button. So I don't really know why it didn't work, but besides the point. Then we also got to come down here and do the same thing. So you guys, you're gonna go down here. You're gonna find right, yeah, all this stuff right here. So boom, just control C, all of this. So control C. We're gonna copy that. Press the for loop. Oh, see, I also did this. Yeah, I also did this wrong actually. Okay, sorry, control Z. So get all of this actually. So control Z, control C, sorry. Control C, go after the for IP and pairs loop. Boom, boom. Control V and then boom. All right, now let's go ahead and test to make sure it works and stuff. So everything should be good. I'm actually just gonna probably start doing this. If I can't figure it out instantly, I'll just end the video, figure it out, and then just you know, combine the clips together. Okay, so I already know if you guys enjoyed the video, definitely leave a like and subscribe. And yeah, let's go ahead and test to make sure that this works. And okay, we've loaded in. Okay, so I'm gonna send a trade request to player 2. We know everything else works. All we're doing is seeing if the ready. Okay, I can press the radio button. Okay, perfect. Okay, so I'm gonna send over item 2, right? I'm gonna press ready, and then I'm gonna send over here. I'm gonna send over item 1. Press ready, boom, trade completed on both screens. Okay, now let's verify that the trade was successful. So if I open up player 1 and player 2 and I look for what the stuff they own, yep, see, you guys see player 1, player 2, and then if I open up the own units for player 2, player 1 and player 2, boom, trade system done. If you guys enjoyed the video, definitely leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you guys so much for watching.